Hello, hello. Welcome to another video here on Lissa's Raw Food Romance. Today I'm answering another question. This person asks, Lissa, has your raw diet changed much since you first started? So let's dive into that one in this video. Thank you again so much for joining me. I appreciate you always tuning in, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, all the good stuff. So you know what to do. Like the video and subscribe and check out the links in the description box below. We have a link to our ebooks. We have 28 ebooks and they're all 40% off with code RAWFOOD40. We also have our school community, which is on sale, 30% off until the end of the year. That link is also below. And we have our online meal planning app. It's a raw vegan meal planning app. It's rawfoodromance.com, or you can find the app in the App Store as well. So today we are answering this question. Lissa, has your raw diet changed much since you first started? So I started a raw diet in 2014. I was 34 years old, so that was 11 years ago. And I just turned 46. So I turned 35 like 2 months into my raw journey. So I'm 46 now. I started when I was 34. 46 now and started when I was 34. That's so crazy to say. Because I never thought I would get this far. But when I became consistent with everything and I started eating enough and I was doing the low fat version, which I'd never done before, it just became so easy. I was eating abundantly. My acne, my cystic acne went away. My joint pain went away. My hormones stabilized. I lost 70 pounds. My candida and gut problems went away. Just like, it was so crazy. It was so awesome. And I still eat a raw vegan diet, a raw and living foods diet, which I've always eaten. So I would say my diet really hasn't changed much since the beginning. That said, there have been a couple changes, which we'll go over in a bit, but for the most part, I still follow the same things pretty much that I always have for the last 11 plus years. Fruit in the morning and fruit as snacks. Those are two basically non-negotiables. That's always what it is. 99.9% of the time. Sometimes we'll have a salad in the morning, but it's pretty much a given that we're either going to have a fruit bowl, like just chopped fruit, like fruit salad, or an ice cream or a smoothie. I would say 95% of the time it's a smoothie because that's just the easiest thing to do. Either fruity or banana date cacao. That's one that we make a lot of as well. Lots of dates, lots of bananas, lots of fruit, lots of variety we try to get in our smoothies. And then fruit as snacks. That is key. There are a couple snacks that we'll have that aren't fruit sometimes, like kale chips. Or I like to snack on cherry tomatoes, which is actually a fruit. But those are, pretty rare, not very often, but for the most part, it's fruit. Grapes, bananas, apples, oranges. Sometimes we'll just go in the kitchen and eat a mango or whatever as a snack in between meals. So all our snacks are usually fruit. Then I'll have a fruiting vegetable salad for lunch, which is typically more hydrating than the dinner salad. So lots of tomatoes, lots of cucumbers, bell peppers, like a iceberg lettuce or mixed greens or something like that with a date-based dressing and lower fat. Although I do put like a teaspoon of omegas in those dressings, that would be something I guess that would have changed from the very early days. I used to not put any fats at all in my lunch dressing, but now I do a teaspoon or so of chia seeds just to make sure that I get those omega-3s every day. And this I started doing like I don't even know, like 6 or 7 years ago. So it's been a long time. But in the early days, I was doing a very, very no fat lunch dressing. Now it's just like really slight. Either that or we do a wrap. But again, we'll talk about that in a second. And then dinner is usually where we're going to have our rougher greens, our more grounding salads with our fat dressing, right? We're going to have obviously not overly done in fats, but usually a shot glass worth of fats, shot glass worth of cashews or almonds or hemp seeds, usually walnuts, that kind of thing. We'll put in our dressing, sunflower seeds or hemp seeds or tahini or whatever we'll do for our fats. In our grounding leafy green salad. So this is the salad that usually has the most variety. We do lots of rougher things, lots more vegetables like kale, radishes, lots of onions. Sometimes we'll do something like a ramen where we marinate vegetables in the dehydrator and put those on cucumber noodles. But usually that salad is more bitter, more dense, and it has the fattier dressing on it. So that's usually how we set up our day, and that's how I've been doing it for the whole time. That said, there are little changes that we've done. Obviously, the biggest change would be variety. So in the earlier days, I didn't do as much variety. But then in around 2021, when I read the Fiber Fueled book by Dr. Will Bulsiewicz, I started adding a lot more variety into my diet. I also started eating a lot more onions, garlic, cruciferous veggies, and ferments. So I always ate those things in the past. It's funny, we started buying more green onions lately. And I remember way back in the day when I first started, I would go through a bunch of green onions every day. I would have half a bunch with lunch, half a bunch with dinner. And I ate a lot of those. Now it's red onion. I can't get enough red onion. I love them. So it was funny when we started doing that. I was like, we should get back to that because I miss having all of those green onions as well as the red onions. So I do eat way more variety now, like endive and sunchokes, jicama, and lots more ferments. We make a lot more ferments, like the beets. We do a lot of fermented beets right now, kimchi and sauerkraut and all that good stuff. We do eat a lot of that. And I did eat that in the earlier days as well. I just eat a lot more now than I did in the past. I eat more variety, I eat more ferments and things like that. So that has changed. The other thing that's changed has been the styles of recipes. Obviously, not the ingredients, because I always ate the same ingredients. They're just created differently, so to speak. Like, for example, the wraps. The wraps are different. I didn't have the wraps when I first started. The wraps only came around in 2023. So the wraps are a fairly new thing, but it's basically just a salad in a wrap, dried into a wrap, and then filled with more salad. And then you have a dressing on the top. So the recipe creation and creativity has definitely changed from the beginning. But again, it's the same ingredients. I still try to stay at 10% total calories coming from fats. Anywhere between 8 and 15% is usually where we fall on any given day. We don't strive to be absolutely super perfect every single day, but we do definitely try to stick to the lower fat way of eating. And yeah, lots of different new recipes, lots of tostadas and burgers and soups and stews. And because we just get creative over the years and our recipes have shifted from the earlier days, but they're still basically the same, low fat, but more variety, I would say, I guess. That's probably the only thing that's really changed the most is the amount of variety that I consume. So still enjoying a raw diet and all of the good stuff. And again, we are raw vegans and living food vegans. So we eat a lot of the fermented stuff. And like I said, in previous videos, we are teaching an unpasteurized tempeh class. So even though the beans are cooked first, they are made alive with the mycelium. So they are a living food. All the tempeh that you buy at the store is pasteurized. So it's not alive anymore. And we want living foods. That's why we're raw and living food vegans. So we eat those foods, again, even though they've been cooked before, they are alive with life. There's so much in them that are so amazing. So we're going to be teaching that class. We started eating tempeh, unpasteurized tempeh, not the store-bought tempeh, because again, it's not alive with the life. But we started eating tempeh probably in like 2021-ish when we went to LA with John Kohler, because there is a guy there who sells unpasteurized tempeh. You can usually only buy it at farmers markets, or if you talk to the supplier, sometimes you can pick it up before they pasteurize it. So if you can get unpasteurized tempeh, awesome. If not, just make it yourself. It's amazing. It's delicious and it's great addition. It's very umami. It's very rich flavor. It's really nice to have. So we're going to be teaching that class on December 16th at 10 a.m. inside the school community, which is 30% off right now until the end of the year. So join up. We'd love to see you in there. And also check out our ebooks are all 40% off with code RAWFOOD40. The link is payhip.com/rawfoodromance. All the links are down below as well. And we will be back tomorrow for another video. As always, I love doing Vlogmas and I'm glad that you're here and hanging out with me. So until next time, I love you and fruit on.